I, Uhuru Kenyatta, that I will obey, preserve, protect and defend this Constitution of Kenya as by law established, and all other laws of the Republic, and that I will protect and uphold the sovereignty and dignity of the people of Kenya. So help me God.
On 7th July, Saba Saba, as a journalist, I was traumatized. We have been trained to handle these critical situations, but I fell off. It was unbelievable, undeniable. Witnessing people being killed in the streets, police shooting people and dragging them like animals, it was quite not a norm. Tears were just flowing all over. Smoke of tear gas canisters in the air. Bullets at night. The sound was so crazy. They were like on the streets, they were ready to kill us and wipe us all. Greed of power. Because someone has been, I don't know. It reached to that particular extent that everyone felt like we don't need this as a president. We don't need him. But because he cannot take these particular things anymore, he is like, oh my God, I'm going to shoot you and there's nothing that you're going to do. Crazy. So crazy. Isn't it? It is what it is. A time is coming whereby you will leave that particular office and no one will ever want to see you because you are an animal killing our people, children on the streets. What is this? For the first time, we are witnessing goons invading a hospital. Kenya is slowly turning to be a Haiti because of one guy in power. One guy who is so greedy, so gluttonous with power. He keeps feeling like he is an angel, like he is a small god. He is not. He keeps on thinking how he is immortal, how he can be able to change and control the narrative, but he cannot. People are angry. People, the anger, you can see it. It's boiling. Boiling, my people. And they think they can be able to change the country. They cannot. It's already gone. Gone to the dogs. For the first time, we are seeing a street with no people, no individuals. Clean on a Monday morning. It was not normal. Everyone, including brothels, didn't open. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine a day whereby even sexual workers have taken a leave? They are like, oh my God, we are protesting against impunity. Can you imagine that? A country whereby everyone felt like we are being killed. They are trying to control the narrative, left, right, and center. Yet, the politicians that we elected, they are out there jovious and jovial that people are being killed. They think that they will stay in that particular office forever. They will not. It's not only about the game of politics. No, no, no. They are playing with our lives. Praying. Can you imagine witnessing 3 people being shot? at once, and you are the cameraman. Then suddenly, the brain matter of one guy who was shot dropping on your clothes, blood clogging on your clothes. And by the way, you need to hear it from me. This is the first time I'm seeing blood matter. Crazy. Sounds crazy, but you don't know the depth of trauma in seeing that and believing that someone's life has ended all of a sudden and pieces of his body are on your clothes. You are not responsible for this, but the police are. Someone in power wanted so bad and enjoys when people are being killed. He doesn't want to know the truth, but he already knows. He doesn't want to believe. It is like that particular moment that you have done an exam and you kept on thinking that you have done it the best way possible. And then the results are otherwise. And you are like, oh my God, I can't believe I performed this poorly. And then there is another guy who did an exam so bad, he even knows that he is going to fail, but behaves like I'm not also expecting for these results. They are so bad. But he already knew, but in public he keeps on doing that. Those are two instances. So the second one is what summarizes what our president is and how our president behaves. Very simple, but it is what it is.
Musagarire Morevaramu nä tå raiguithania rekei ndä mwä re niä ndarä mwanake rä u nä ngå rire ndä na mbuä no niä ndarä mwanake rä rä a matiba rä rä a rå bia nä guo mathire na magä thira makä rå ä ra ma ya kä ndå twahä tirie o ithuothe nä guo tå cokiei hau niä ngakorwo rä u ndä må thuri na ndigacoka kä haro må tigatå me ciana cianyu nacio ikarä ra acio macokire kwä rira må tigatwä ke nä inyuä må gatwä ra andå aitå nä makarä ra rä ngä nä tå raiguithania na ndä raigua å guo niä ndete na ngatä ya kila mtu sina vita mimi na mtu lakini haki itasemwa na mimi nimewaita leo.
On June 7th, what Kenyan call Saba Saba, we witnessed a lot of criminality in the streets. Can you imagine police being side by side with protesters and they cannot protect the protesters? They were just protecting the goons, people walking with sticks. They are not police officers, but police were protecting them in the streets. We witnessed this, people's businesses being looted by these goons, because how can you explain this? There were no protesters inside the city, but business were looted. How can you explain that? You wanna know? Business premises were burned down, and it looks like it was targeted. How? Is this that what you call good governance of a president who keeps on pretending to be a saint all over? He just like pretending like he is a saint, but he's not. Let us open our eyes right now, because I think it has led to that particular extent that we should talk. It is that particular moment that we want to talk. We want to release what we know and what we don't know. It's so bitter to see some of these things happening on the streets, and I want to talk about the supermarkets that were burnt down. these particular supermarkets were burned down in certain strategic places. One in Meru, another one in Nyeri, another one in Murang'a. All of supermarkets. Last time, it was a bit crazy because police stations were banned. And I have this particular peculiar question. How comes all of these particular things happen consecutively? How? Yesterday we were live on air, although it reached a certain particular moment that our broadcast was improvised or taken down, and we don't care. We shall expose the bad things that are happening in our society. It's not that particular moment that we should stay down, back down and chill. No. So, you wanna tell me that protesters from Meru, from Murang'a and Nyeri agreed, and from Kirinyaga, and agreed to burn down the supermarkets? How comes? So you wanna also tell me police were watching all this happening and they could not do anything? And the worst of all, and I have to condemn this. This is so evil. Can you imagine a hospital in Kitengela was being attacked by goons yesterday? You know, when you see this particular kind of things and kind of demonic, I can generally call it a demonic, because how can you be able to go and attack a hospital? What are you gaining from a hospital, my guy? The Gen Z are not so, they don't move like that. The Gen Z cannot attack a hospital. The Gen Z cannot attack a supermarket. And the funny thing is, all of these particular moments were captured in a camera. These were goons. And you may be asking yourself how to identify a goon. A goon can be identified by his characters. When you have covered all your faces up, the dressing code from you, they can really tell you. You know, there is not a Gen Z who is so old. Hmm? Gen Z are young. And for your information, Gen Zs are from 1997 to 2012, if I'm not wrong. So if you are outside that particular gap, you are not a Gen Z. But there is the Gen Z patriots, and there is the Gen Z goons. You have also to differentiate that. You have also to note that there are Gen Z who are so patriotic about their country, but there is also the Gen Z goons, who they call. I keep on seeing people giving these some funny comments, like tribal harsh comments. I am not going to support that. And I have seen the narrative they are trying to build. All of us are like this, but they wanna tell us this community behaves like this, where this other behaves like this. Hmm? Brains without brains. They understand, but in real circumstances, we are like this. Maybe it's hard to see that, or to identify that particular small character. What am I trying to say? I'm trying to say they are trying to sell a tribal narrative that this community is way better than this. They are just trying to play that particular card. And I have seen it deep in the president's mind, because the president keep on saying that a certain community is so tribal than the other. So I keep on thinking, so what are you meaning? Because if you are to talk about tribalism, I think the president is the master of tribalism, because 3/4 of his cabinet and PS and all his allies and employers are from one community. Each and every particular sector, a major sector in the country is being led from one community. Is it that what we call tribal? I think businesses should be given to those who have qualified for, not because you are from a certain tribe. Right now, we have what we call small pieces of shit as the ministers for interior, minister for whatever it is. We have very, very poor cabinet secretaries. That's a fact. Very poor. A cabinet secretary who is not even responsible for what is happening. Can you imagine this? Yesterday, I didn't witness any police officer being injured. And if you saw it, please tag me. Show me that particular photo and the timestamp from that particular photo. Don't be afraid. Prove me wrong. I want to know. Just prove me wrong. That's it. So my people, I witnessed a lot of protesters being shot. Some were just idling just around. Some were just so curious to see what are the police doing, you know. And I saw people being shot down. There is this particular photo going around social media, and I'm going to show it. That's the reason that today's video is black and white. It is not that 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 it is like this. No, 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 no. Our video is today black and white for these particular instances, for us to show you what was happening. There is a photo going around social media of an instance where 3 people were lying dead in the street on the road. Sounds crazy, but not crazy for the government. Not only that, at night at Rongai, people kept on hearing these noises from gunpowder, and people were being killed at night. The numbers, the figures cannot be shown to the media, or maybe we cannot be able right now to gather the information, but as time goes by, we'll come to reveal how many people are shot dead by police officers, by Kenya Defense Forces, by security personnel, by goons in the streets. There is even a very crazy video of a police officer dragging someone, just dragging someone onto the streets. He was being dragged down like an animal. He was shot dead, and then they were just dragging him carelessly inside the police station. It happened in Gong, Thika Road. We all saw these particular things. So these are the police officers that we have given the responsibility of, and I don't understand why police officers keep roaming with guns and we are not criminals. You know, they should be just riding around with wooden sticks to protect the property, and maybe tear gas canisters. I agree with that. But with bullets, we are not criminals. There's no terrorists in the streets. It is we, the people, who are in the streets fighting for justice. Quite a sad moment for our country. We are breeding. It was quite a successful protest. I can't generally say that, but you are killed. They killed us. And the president keep on thinking that this is going to become better. Day by day, it's going to be nice. It's going to be like, oh my, people are going to fear him so much. It cannot happen. people are going to keep it up. The anger will continue boiling and boiling and boiling. And it will come to that particular place. You never know. Maybe a coup d'etat. I don't know. Some of these particular things that he keep on ignoring, those are the same things that will be used for him to be removed from office. I think Kenyans, this is the best lesson that we have learned, and you should be proud of it, that never again, and I repeat, never again, elect a leader in office because you are emotional about him, because you don't think some of these leaders are criminals. He doesn't have, this guy, the president, was in 2007, 2008, he was taken to ICC for crimes against humanity. He was responsible for that. That is what we were told. And a lot of us, maybe more than 50% of Kenyan population, were like, no, we were just profiling this guy. He was not criminal. He was a good man because he keeps on hiding in the Bible through the church. It is so simple. I'll never trust anyone who comes with the name of, I'm going to protect you, I have the Bible. No, 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 no. I'll look for your actions. How you act, how you speak, how you behave. That is the way I'm going to use it to judge you. Because if we keep on judging you because you go to church and you keep on saying how God is good, better I vote for an Illuminati guy, knowing that he is going to sacrifice us to whatever he is going to do, rather than voting for a God guy or a God sent guy who is a killer and a professional killer, a murderer. I'm not going to do that. I think this is the moment that we need to change everything, how we think. We have that particular perfect opportunity. Let us not put rebellious leaders back in office. Let us not put these criminals. We should in fact be ready to elect a good president, a good government that will be responsible for jailing this whole government right now. The CS, police heads, police involved, because we have the evidence. We have footages everywhere. You can be able to run down a photo of a police officers or a video of a police officers. It is so easy even to see them, to identify them. But they keep on saying there's no evidence, no evidence, no evidence. And then we are like, oh my God, you don't have evidence? It's well and good. It's just okay. Because I don't know what to say. On the streets, people are being killed in broad daylight. Just being killed. Others who are running for their dear lives. I know you will come out and start saying, oh, those who are criminals. No, 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 no. There is no law here in Kenya that allows you to kill a person. And you may come out and say it's for self-defense. The Constitution allows a police officer to use a firearm to cool down a person who is going to kill his life for self-defense. How can you shoot a person because he is carrying a stone, a canister, a water can, a person carrying a mask? You want to kill him and keep on saying that it was self-defense, he was going to kill you. How? How? Using excess force is in your nature. You love doing it. You enjoy doing it. Because you are just bastards. And then a crazy moment and a crazy scenario that I observed in the late evening is the of our former Prime Minister of Kenya, Raila Amolo Odinga, who just comes out and start giving us tales, stories. Do you remember those particular stories of ogres and monsters back in the forest? I don't know, this Goliath and this and this came to do this and this. Those were the kind of the stories the former Prime Minister was trying to give us, that you don't know about history. This is what happened in Sabasaba. It was supposed to be like this. Because the government at that particular time, the government by the name Kanu, was trying to kill people. And then I'm like, what are you talking about? Are you an idiot? Because look at it in this particular manner. We were not at that particular age. We don't even need to understand that history. You can chew your history up. It's not going to help us. We are dealing with a monster government today that is feeding on blood. Feeding so much on blood. That is the government that we are dealing with. And yet you are at the right-hand side of the government. You are just a toy boy for the president. But right now, you are observing table manners because you are seated next to power. You are controlling the narrative and being used to control the damage. You are not going to do that. The ground has shifted. People, the crowd is moving so fast. The anger is boiling. There's no way that you are going to convince us that Moi's government was so bad than this government. There's no way. I don't want to know how bad that particular government was. But the thing is, so simple. So it was so bad. What about this government? Because this one, I don't know. This is worse. There's nothing that is going to change from this government. For those who keep on saying that, maybe we should give them time. Time to do what? We should give them time. Okay, time to do what? I want to know. You keep on saying that we should give them time. You want to know what time do they need and to do what? Raila Amolo Odinga, just retire from politics. You don't have the juice anymore. You know that particular moment that you chew a sugar cane and chew and chew and chew. At least that particular sugar dissolves all of it in your mouth. That is how Raila Amolo Odinga is. We have eaten his sugar so much to an extent that he cannot even produce another sap. I hate to say this, but it had to be said. We have a president who doesn't care on the good of humanity. And then when he is told about this truth, he comes out boiling. And then you'll be like, that's it. We have done it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a moment to reparate our country. I don't see any other moment that we should be standing out talking about this. The government is criminalized, full of criminals. Nothing good they are doing. We are being overfed by lies. It has come to the end. My good name is Anthony Jenga, and this is EMK Part 1. See you in the Part 2. Don't scroll down. Don't press that particular dial. If there is that particular happy person, it's me. I'm so happy and proud of the Gen Z movement today. You have showed the kind of energy in the states that we need. And I feel so sorry for William Samoei Ruto because you are so disappointed today, because you kept it on your mind that people will listen to you, people will not go to the streets, and people will go to their job as usual. And I think it's quite a disappointment when you learn that the country freezed down. The economy today shut down. It was not business as usual. It was not your ordinary day whereby people keep on going to work each and every particular day. No, people decided otherwise, to listen to the Gen Z more than listen to you. Can you imagine a whole president cannot be able to control a country? It sounds crazy. Sounds so crazy. But can you imagine this? A country whereby people are being controlled by bloggers on X. Sounds evil. It's not evil, it's heavenly. The power of the people. You know that it is the same people who voted for this particular guy in office, and are the same people who don't want this particular guy on that particular office. It sounds crazy, but you may keep on thinking, how can a president make that particular peculiar decision, or I can generally call it a toxic decision of killing people in ordinary daylight.
Una maoni gani kuhusu hili kanisa la 1.2 billion?
Hata ajenge la dhahabu, muuaji haoni mbinguni.
They tried each and every particular tactic today to control the Gen Z in town, but they failed totally. Because the aim of the Gen Z was to make today Sabasaba as a national holiday. They even went to that particular extent of using Raila Amolo Odinga to try and control the people. But today is the day I think Raila Amolo Odinga learned that the Gen Z are not following him. The Gen Z are not following anyone's order. In fact, I can generally say that the Gen Z, it's a kind of emotional movement that is following every decision that is against William Samoei. If you want to control the Gen Z, it's so hard, because you have to agree, first of all, to condemn. You should be ready to condemn this particular government.